Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I'd take you out for a little bit of a walk this morning. You'll have to excuse me for being slightly out of breath. I've just walked up quite a large hill. But basically the video I wanted to do for you today was about becoming a YouTuber. Now I watched a video recently from, who was it? Survival Lily. Big fan of her channel. And she posted a video some time ago about, you know, what do you do if you want to become a YouTuber? Now I think I must have missed it when it first came out, so it was only very recently I watched it, but it got me thinking, and I thought I'd do something very similar. So really what I want to talk about today is, you know, what do you need to do if you want to become a YouTuber? Now this is not just something like my channel, which is sort of bushcraft related. You know, this applies to pretty much anybody, and really it was just a quick few thoughts on what you need to consider if you want to set up your own YouTube channel. Now first and foremost, you know, all the real basics. You're going to need a computer, an internet connection, some kind of camera, some way of editing your videos, and you know, that's really the technical side of it. You know, I won't go too deeply into that because you can buy, you know, you can go and spend loads and loads of money on lots of expensive camera and editing gear, you know, or you know, alternatively, you know, you could use your mobile phone and just literally upload a piece of footage shot on your phone, no editing, and you know, you can do anything between those two. But really, I suppose what I'm getting at is you need to consider a couple of things. So firstly, you need to consider your content. You know, what is it you want to be, what do you want your channel to be about? Now obviously mine relates to bushcraft, green woodworking, that kind of thing. And the reason that's what I'm doing is because that's what I'm interested in, and I suppose that's really probably the biggest tip I can go with is, you know, choose something that hopefully you know something about, or even if you don't know anything about it but you're sort of just starting up in something and you want to use it almost as a kind of a vlog, or you know, kind of, you know, showing people, you know, your progression in what you're doing. But you know, you really need to have an interest in what it is you're doing. It becomes apparent, and I watch various YouTube channels quite regularly, and it's very, very obvious very, very quickly when somebody doesn't really have an interest in what they're doing, or you know, they don't really know what they're talking about or what have you. So that's really the first tip. Make sure it's something that interests you. You know, it will come across to your viewers very, very quickly that you have a genuine interest. You may not be very good at it, you may not have a great deal of knowledge about it, but if you've got a genuine interest, that will come across. So that's really the first big one. Secondly, you know, think about the type of content that you're going to be putting up. So again, doesn't really matter a great deal what your channel's about, but make sure the content's kind of relevant. Make sure that it's the kind of thing that people who have got a similar interest are going to want to see. You know, when I started this channel, I noticed there was a bit of a gap on sort of, you know, YouTube in general, for kind of how-to videos, if you like, on making certain things. So there'd be a lot of people making spoons or bowls, carving things, that kind of stuff, but there wasn't a sort of a tutorial version, if you like. And that's what the first kind of few videos of my channel were all about, and I still do those now occasionally. But really, you know, I was struggling to find good quality content, so for people basically saying, you know, we want to make a wooden spoon, this is how you do it step by step. So that's kind of that side of it, if you like. And really also the other thing to think about is the length of your videos. Now I'm very much guilty of this. You know, I tend to let my videos roll on and on, depending on what it is I'm doing. But you want to consider keeping them between kind of 3 and 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes long. Unless it's something very specific and very particular as a sort of a one-off video, that's fine. But I tend to find, certainly on my channel, I tend to get a lot more views on videos that are fairly short and sweet and to the point. And I suppose a bit like what I'm doing now, or what I shouldn't be doing now, is don't just sit there and ramble on camera for a long time. By doing that, you will essentially put people off. They'll get a few minutes in and go, you know, this guy's just rambling away, I've lost interest, I'm going to move on. So that's that. And I suppose one of the biggest things that people ask, or people, you know, I know that don't have their own YouTube channels that ask me about is, you know, what's all this, you know, making money out of YouTube business? And I'll be honest, you know, I make a very small amount of money, you know, kind of pretty much pocket money if you want to look at it like that, out of my YouTube channel. Every probably 3 to 4 months, I would say, I get a payment from Google, and that's to do with the amount of people that have viewed my videos, some of the ads that come up, whether people have clicked on them and stuff like that. But I would certainly suggest there's a button whenever you upload a video onto YouTube. There is a button called monetization, and provided you've met the requirements for Google, they will allow you to monetize your video. It means an advert will pop up now and again, that kind of thing. And I mean, I never thought anything would come of it. I didn't expect to earn a penny, to be perfectly honest. And really the only reason I have is for the length of time that I've been on YouTube and the amount of videos that I put up. And that will lead me into my next section in a moment. But you know, if you're putting videos on YouTube, provided there's no copyrighted content, so songs or music or something like that, by all, you know, click monetization, and as time goes by and hopefully people, you know, more and more people view that video, you should start earning hits on it, and eventually, you know, you should get a little bit of money out of it. And then that leads me on to, as I say, the amount of content that you're putting on. Now, there's a bit of an argument over this regarding quality over quantity. Now, I made a decision some time ago that I was going to upload 2 videos a week to my channel, and that was because it was pretty much the amount of videos and editing that I felt I could comfortably manage on a weekly basis, and it was something that I wanted to do in order to keep, you know, my subscriber base kind of happy and having fresh content on a regular basis. You know, there are some people on YouTube that put up 4 or 5 videos a week. I wish I had the time to do that, I really do, but it's just not possible for me. There are other people who will put up 1 video maybe every 2 weeks or maybe once a month. And again, there's nothing wrong with any of that, but what I will say is that the more video content you put up and the more frequently you put it up on YouTube, the more people will view it. So if you are monetizing your videos, you will find there will be lots more people watching them because there's more content to watch, and therefore in theory you're getting more hits and more chance of getting a payment. And I mean, apart from that, you know, it's if you're able to do it, if you're any good at editing or you can learn to do some editing, I would highly recommend it, because it just makes the videos more interesting. The more interesting you can make them, the more subscribers you'll get, the more people that will want to watch your videos when a new one comes out. What else is there? Thumbnails, custom thumbnails on your video. So if you're anything like me, when you're searching through YouTube to find a video to watch, I mean, I do it quite often. If I'm sitting on the train, if I'm sitting around with 5 minutes spare, I'll have a quick flick through YouTube. You know, I'll look through the people that I subscribe to, but sometimes I'll just look through some general content. And what you want to do is try and draw people to your videos. So rather than just taking just in case you're not aware of this, so when you upload a video onto YouTube, it will give you 3 thumbnails, which are essentially a snapshot of 3 separate parts of the footage that you've uploaded. And some of them can be okay, others may be you looking down at your feet, or, you know, looking off to the side, or whatever it might be. But what you can do is you can upload a photo, which is what I tend to do with most of my videos. And you know, by using a photo, you can take a particular picture of something, you can you know, edit that picture, you can play around with it to make it as sort of you know, eye-popping and as interesting as possible. And that way, you know, when someone looks at your video, say you're doing a video about I don't know, you're reviewing a camping axe or something like that, you know, just a standard picture of a camping axe sitting on the floor. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that will be attractive to some people, but you know, you can spend a little bit of time and effort. You know, you can have that axe sitting in a tree stump, you know, with a load of foliage in the background. You can play around with the editing of the photo to have all the colours really pop out and look vibrant, and just little things like that, you know, will help to make your videos stand out from the crowd, so to speak. And that's really what it is you're trying to do. You're trying to make your videos more attractive than everybody else's. So I mean, that's pretty much it from me, guys. You know, I could ramble on all day about this. I realise this video is sort of just topping up at about 10 minutes now. But essentially, you know, those are my sort of little tips for if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, and especially, you know, if you are new to YouTube, you are new to videoing. You know, especially if you're kind of the younger generation, you're thinking, oh, you know what, I see all these people on YouTube, and you know, yeah, there's all this competition. My biggest bit of advice really is just go for it. At the end of the day, you know, I'm no different, and a lot of other YouTubers are no different to anybody else out there. All we've done is made the decision to say, right, I'm going to pick up a camera, start filming some stuff, throw it on the internet and see what happens. And really that's all you need to do. And you know, I would highly recommend just giving it a go more than anything else. Anyway guys, hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below. Happy to discuss anything you might want to know about. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks guys.